The average refrigerator used to last 17 years. Today, you are lucky to get 10, and the most popular style in America is failing before year 5. If you are about to spend $1,200 on a new refrigerator this weekend, or you bought one in the last 2 years, there is a $600 to $900 repair bill waiting for you that nobody mentioned at the store. Appliance technicians have been watching this happen for years, but the brands building these machines would rather you just buy another one. Today I'm going to show you exactly what changed inside the modern refrigerator, the 3 brands failing at the worst rates right now, and the one rule that eliminates most of this risk before you ever open your wallet. 20 years ago, the most common refrigerator in American homes was a top freezer model. Simple design, freezer on top, compressor in the back. Cold air falls, heat rises, nothing fights the other. These machines were boring and they lasted 17 to 20 years. Your grandparents bought 1 refrigerator in their adult life, maybe 2. Then, starting in the early 2000s, manufacturers noticed something. The French door refrigerator was becoming fashionable. Wide doors, bottom freezer, built-in ice maker routed through the fresh food door. Consumers loved the look, retailers loved the margin. The average French door model costs $400 to $800 more than a comparable top freezer. So what actually changed inside the machine? 3 things. First, the compressor moved from the back to the bottom of the unit. Heat rises. Putting the primary heat source at the base means your cooling system is constantly fighting thermodynamics. Second, the ice maker moved from inside the freezer compartment, where it belongs, to the fresh food section. Frozen water production now happens inside the warmest part of the refrigerator. Third, the electronics required to manage all of this doubled in complexity, then tripled. Every one of these changes created a new failure point, and manufacturers have known this from the beginning. Here's what the service data actually shows. Yale Appliance tracked 33,190 appliance service calls over 12 months. Their finding? Refrigerators require service more than almost any other major appliance category. A comprehensive analysis of over 66,500 refrigerators found that 1 in 3 units needs a repair within the first 5 years of ownership. 1 in 3. And independent of brand, ice makers account for 50% of all refrigerator service calls. The ice maker is not a feature, it's a liability, and you're paying extra for it. Starting with Samsung. In 2017, Ronald and Deborah Bianchi of Virginia filed a class-action lawsuit against Samsung Electronics. Their French door refrigerator, purchased for over $2,500, was leaking water, building solid ice around the ice maker mechanism, and making loud grinding noises throughout the night. Samsung sent technicians. The technicians replaced parts. The problems came back. The lawsuit represented thousands of customers who had filed identical complaints. A settlement was reached in December 2023. In 2026, the complaints have not stopped. Customers are posting about the same ice maker failures on the same forums on 2020 and 2021 models, units that were sold after the settlement. One owner posted this on the Samsung community forum just recently. The refrigerator door clearly says 10-year warranty on the compressor. Samsung told them the digital converter compressor warranty had expired. They were looking at $800 out of pocket. All 7 appliance repair professionals surveyed in a recent industry review named Samsung as a brand to avoid. Not one recommended it. And technicians are now openly refusing to prioritize Samsung service calls. One technician with 22 years of experience said it plainly. He stopped recommending Samsung to his customers, not because he hates the brand, because he was tired of the callback calls. If something breaks outside of warranty on a Samsung refrigerator, you are often stuck. Number 2 is Electrolux. Their French door refrigerators scored 17 out of 100 on Consumer Reports' reliability scale. That is not a rounding error. 17 out of 100. The most documented failure? The freezer compartment begins malfunctioning within 12 to 18 months. Produce is freezing when it shouldn't be. Dairy is spoiling faster than expected. The control board fails. One homeowner in Ohio described watching her second Electrolux unit fail in the exact same way as her first. She posted this online. "I thought it was a fluke. It wasn't a fluke. It's a feature." She's correct. At $1,400 to $2,500 for these machines, this is not a minor inconvenience. This is a guaranteed service call on a premium-priced appliance. Number 3 may surprise you. GE Profile. GE has one of the deepest service networks in the country, When something breaks, GE can usually fix it faster than almost any other major brand. But the current data shows something alarming. GE Profile's first-year service rate was 16.5% in 2023. It rose to 16.8% in 2024. In 2025, it hit 21.6%. That trend is moving in the wrong direction. GE Profile refrigerators are priced at $1,500 to $3,000. At 21.6%, more than 1 in 5 of those units needed a service call in the first year alone. This is not a brand in recovery. This is a brand that is getting worse. Here is the pattern that ties all 3 of these brands together: Samsung, Electrolux, GE Profile. Every documented failure, the ice maker, the freezer malfunction, the rising service rate, traces back to the same root cause: the French door design itself. Moving frozen ice production through a warm compartment creates thermal stress that compounds over time. Every refrigerator cycle, the machine fights itself. Manufacturers know this. The physics have not changed since high school science class. What changed was the profit margin on a $2,000 refrigerator versus a $900 one. Quick question before I show you the brands that actually hold up. Drop a comment right now. How long did your last refrigerator last? And if it was a French door model, say that too. I want to see if the data matches real-world experience. I am betting most of you are going to say somewhere between 5 and 9 years. Now, I know what you were thinking about LG. LG has a reputation problem: the compressor class action lawsuits from 2015, the Reddit threads, technicians who still name them alongside Samsung. Here's what the current service data actually shows. Yale Appliance tracked 33,190 service calls in 2025. LG's overall first-year service rate, 8.4%. That is the best performance of any major brand in that category. The compressor story was real for 2014 to 2017 models. LG settled that lawsuit. The post-2019 data tells a completely different story. LG's 5-year compressor failure rate is currently 1.1%. The gap between LG's reputation and LG's current data is one of the most significant disconnects in this entire industry. The honest trade-off? LG's service network is still expanding. If you're in a rural area and something breaks, getting a technician can take weeks. Before you buy an LG, spend 5 minutes confirming that a certified LG service provider operates in your area. That step alone matters more than any reliability ranking you will find. Price range, $900 to $2,500. Number 1 is Bosch. Bosch refrigerators do one thing that almost no other consumer refrigerator does at this price point. They use a dual compressor system. The freezer has its own compressor, the fresh food section has its own compressor. The 2 compartments never share air. The practical meaning? The thermal conflict that destroys Samsung and Electrolux units physically cannot happen the same way in a Bosch. The ice stays cold because cold air never has to travel through warm air to get there. Yale Appliance's 2025 data puts Bosch's 5-year compressor failure rate at 0.4%, the lowest measured by this dataset, lower than LG, lower than every other major brand tracked. That gap matters more over a 10-year ownership period than almost any other number you will find. The honest trade-off? Bosch has a limited service footprint outside major metro areas, and they are not cheap. You're looking at $1,400 to $2,800. But in 10 years, you are dramatically more likely to still be running on the original compressor than with any other brand on this list. Here is the rule that appliance repair professionals apply before recommending any refrigerator. I want you to remember this one line: French door means repair door. If you were looking at a French door refrigerator with a through-door ice maker, you are buying the highest service rate refrigerator design on the market, regardless of the brand name on the front. The physics do not care about the brand. The safest refrigerator design available is a top freezer or a side-by-side. The ice stays where the cold is, the compressor is not fighting itself every cycle. Smart buyers are walking past the French door section and not looking back. The bottom line? The refrigerator style that looks the best has the worst reliability record in the industry. The only way out is to buy for the compressor, not the aesthetic. French door means repair door. If this saved you from a $900 mistake, subscribe.